decision making is my superpower. Which fundamentally means what? मैं जो डिसीजंस लेता है ना, मतलब कमाल का डिसीजन लेता हूं. You know, when kids are in 9th and 10th, if we can make them realize that decision maker should also be a superpower. Yes, communication is my superpower. Now let decision also be my superpower. Communication is between me and the world. Decision making is all about the world inside. Visualize this. Flowers fall even though we love them. And weeds grow even though we hate them or dislike them. Isn't this the truth of life? Flowers fall even though we love them. We love them, but they fall off the tree, they fall off the plant. And weeds grow even though we dislike them. Fundamentally, what it means is every now and then in life, the thing that you like, the thing that you love will not be there. And every now and then in life, the things that you do not like and do not want will keep growing. And to overcome that, there is this power of choices. Situations in life are sometimes complicated. And so many of these situations could not have been anticipated. COVID times is a proof that life is filled with twists and turns. And when you are in a twist, there are ways by which you can negotiate those situations. Mastering those situations will help you in a very, very big way in your life. Today, let's discuss a framework that you will discuss with children inside the classroom. So this is how the session will go. You will open up by saying, preparing for the sessions of KMM sometimes takes time. And this time is taken from my regular schedule, but it's a choice that I happily make. You will not make the children guilty, nor will you present yourself as a very, very big man who's doing some sacrifices. The focus is on the choice that you're making. You say now and then on a Sunday morning, when we get together to decide how to take the session, there is a temptation to sleep. Now and then somebody invites us for a trek and we say, chalo trekking ke liye jayenge. There is a temptation to say, "Arey yaar, trek ke liye sab log ja rahe hain." And there's a temptation to go for a trek. But I make the choice of attending the session where we discuss the session. And I make the choice to be completely involved in the session so that one, I grow in my life, and two, when I meet you friends, we should have something beautiful to discuss. It's a choice that I make. There is immense power in making choices. Then you also speak about any good choice that you have made in your life, where there were options and you chose an option. Like I had the choice of continuing my business in Chennai, but I chose to shift to Pune and begin my life as a coach. We have a choice to keep KMM steady, 15,000-20,000 children every year face to face. Achha chal raha na sir. Or we have a choice to expand it into lakhs of children. My friend Pramod had the choice of continuing his corporate career, but he chose to empower the principals. And what a brilliant insight. Because every principal empowered is impacting at least 1,000 lives. मतलब क्या choice किया उसने? Outstanding. Outstanding. You speak about a choice in your life where you can, do like this to yourself. Discuss that in the AC meeting. What is the choice that you made which delights you? And that is how you start the session. You can also speak about a choice that you made which was a stupid choice. And speak out how you learned from it. Which means all the choices need not come out to be right. But whatever we think is right, we should make those choices, move on and learn. So you begin by saying about yourself. Then you speak about the school and say the school must be in so much pressure to complete the studies. And yet your school has chosen to give us 7 sessions for Keep Moving movement. It speaks about the vision of the principal. And in case there is a teacher available in your class, you thank the teacher wholeheartedly and say, please pass on our gratitude to your principal and to the board that thank you for this opportunity. So you begin by showing them real choices that are made. Then you can speak. Some of you keep your cameras on, which is a choice that you make. And some of you keep your cameras off, which is also a choice that you make. Just make them realize choice. And then you speak about the flowers and the weed, saying sometimes what we love does not happen. And sometimes what we don't want spreads fast. How to handle that is what making a choice is all about. What we are going to do is, in this session, we are going to give them a framework of choice making. How do you make smart choices in your life? The tool is as applicable to you and me as much as it is for the children inside the classroom. So when you're listening to me, listen believing it is valid to you and I'm taking the complete session only for you. As the session happens, make some important choices of your life. In my Let's Explore batch, before I teach them about the science of goal setting, I always mention very emphatically that less than 5% people in the world ever set a goal that has the power to change their lives. For most of us, the goals that we set are goals that will help us to survive. Or it will help us a little in progress. We don't set goals which has the power to change our life. Now imagine if you belong to that 5% in the world who chooses to set extraordinary goal for yourself. Now that is how I begin the session on goal setting. And then I give them the science of how do you set goals in life. As you listen to me today, See if you feel that power and a determination to make a few important choices, which has the power to change the game of your life. I was reading about Daniel Craig the other day. Anybody knows who's Daniel Craig? What is he famous for? James Bond. And I read an interesting article where he's saying, my children will not get any money from me. Imagine Manish Kotak saying, my children will not get any money from me. And both his children know, you will not get any money from me. I have earned that money and I'm going to give that money back to the society from which I have earned it. I'm going to give you education. I'm going to give you a base. I'm going to give you me. Ask me what you want. Use me for what you want. But my money is not yours. Accept my money. Everything that I have is yours. But money is not yours. Now what happens? Warren Buffett says, give your money, give your children enough money so that they can do whatever they want to. Don't give them enough money so that they can choose not to do anything at all. The other day I was with Ashish Kasat and we were having a discussion about children, future. And he was saying, chalo na, thoda rental income acha ho jaye na. I said, if your child knows that you are earning about 10 lakh rupees per month through rental income, he has a choice to do nothing in his life. है ना? If my child knows कि 10 lakh तो आ ही रहा है, then he can stay. I want to take a break here from work. And like a father who does not have time for his children, I can always say, हाँ तेरे को जो करना है तू कर. जा सिमरन जा, जी ले अपनी जिंदगी kinds. But not knowing that I have made a choice to create lakhs through my own nalaiki. Or imagine me telling my children, my money doesn't belong to you. How much money? You want a latest BMW? Excellent. Throw me ideas, I'll give you solutions. पैसा नहीं दूंगा. Now you don't speak this inside the classroom, okay? Everybody who switch their camera off and complain, this teacher is not good. He's scaring me. In the class, you speak about the power of choices. And then you say, let us discuss a framework by which you will be able to make very powerful choices. So here the core of the session starts. First step is identify the issue. Issue क्या है? मतलब तुमको क्या चीज सॉल्व करना है? When you make a decision, what would you expect out of that decision? So you state the issue. Let's say, for example, I am minus 5 crores. Identify and state the issue. Let me take your help. I am 52 years. I am minus 5 crores. Now, through my choices, I have to solve the issue. So how would you like to define the issue? Whatever you think is the issue, please use the chat box and think and just write over there. What do you think is the issue? I'm minus for 5 crores. I lost my money. I invested in a company and my money became zero. In fact, I'm saddled with loans. Minus 5 crores. You are in debt and need money for retirement. I am broke. I feel unsure whether to stick to what I am doing and search for anything ethically. Earn surplus money, recover the losses, bad investment, not financially independent, inconsistent actions. You want to take loan or not in the future? I would love to take a loan if somebody is willing to give me loan. I'm minus 5 crores, remember? Getting out of debt and rebuild your finances, education system. Education system kidhar se aa gaya idhar? Still stuck in the issues of financial losses, rethink your financial mindset, bad debt, poor decision, recover, sudden vacuum in life. In short time, need to earn 5 crores, plan to have 5 crores surplus, says Gary. You blame the situation for the problem, learn and improve. Okay, thank you so much for your participation. My first thought will be, in life, have there been people who were minus 5 crores but went on to create huge financial surplus? That will be my first thought. 5 crore की उधारी से कोई निकला है क्या? Or is it that people who were minus 5 crores, they were crushed to death and lived a very miserable life? Well, is it possible to outgrow 5 crores? 5 crores of loss. That's the first question. What do you think is the answer? Right? Then I'll ask myself, in the next 5 to 6 years, if I want to become financially very independent, how much plus I should have? And let's say my calculation goes like 5 crore rupees surplus hona chahiye apne paas. If I have 5 crores and even that 5 crores is in the bank and gives me 6% as interest, I get 2.5 lakh every month. Fortunately, me, my wife, my children live a kind of a frugal life where we are not very expensive tastes. 1 lakh per month is more than enough for us. 1.5 lakhs will still be surplus to take care of inflation and stuff like that. तो मतलब 5 crore surplus चाहिए, ये 5 crore पुराना हटाना है. Now, what do I do so that in the next 5 years, I can earn at least 10 crores? So what is the problem statement? The problem statement is not, I am in debt of 5 crores. The problem statement is not, I am in a very bad situation. The problem statement is, what should I do to earn 10 crores within the next 5 years? Remove all negativity of the situation and focus on possibilities. Now, give a few examples from the children's life. Let's say one of them has failed in a subject. Option A, keep thinking and saying, I failed, I failed, I failed. Option number B, keep saying, I'm not good enough, I'm not disciplined, I'm not focused, I get distracted. These are not problem statements, these are judgments. A statement is something where you have an idea about a goal. Otherwise, it's a conclusion and a judgment. I'm not good in maths is a judgment. I want to excel in maths and score 98%. Now that is a problem statement. Let's say some children are quiet and shy. And they say, I'm very shy. I don't like to mingle with people. I have social anxiety. There's a term called social anxiety, which means the moment you are with people, you become anxious. In other words, you are scared of being judged. So let's say some people have social anxiety. Hence, they remain quiet and shy. And they say, I can't get along with people. If I have to go and talk to people, na baap re baap. It's not butterflies in my stomach. There is a python inside my stomach. Now, saying all this is judgmental. What you need to do as problem statement is, I want to become an extrovert within the next 5 months. Is the problem statement. Let's say a child is obese. Shouldn't say I'm too fat, I'm very overweight. My parents are always saying, tu mota hai, tu mota hai, tu mota hai, kam kar, kam kar, kam kar. I don't think I'm not good enough. Nobody will like me. I don't have friends because I'm obese. All these are judgments. Very simple. If my body fat percentage is 40, I want to reduce it to 30 within the next 1 year. That's a problem statement. So Satish Joshi is, let's say, 60 years old. Now Satish can think this way. अभी तो क्या 60 हो गया है, अभी तो क्या करूं मैं लाइफ में? This is not a problem statement. This is a judgment कि कुछ नहीं हो सकता. Satish can say, medical science has improved phenomenally. I do my walking and yoga regularly, which means I think I will be alive till 85. Minimum. Which means if I have to live the next 25 years of my life beautifully well, what should I do? He's not talking about the 60 years which has gone. He's speaking about the 25 years which are coming. A problem statement has enough scope of progress and solutions and action. So step number 1, if you want to develop a mindset to solve things, if you want to have a mindset of abundance, if you want to have a mindset of making smart choices in life, first thing is identify and state the issue properly. This is step number 1. Step number 2. Research to understand the issue better. Understand the issue better. Because any issue has multiple perspectives. The way you are looking at it is one perspective. But before you start solving it, look at the multiple possible perspectives. Often we are in a hurry and we jump towards solutions without understanding the perspectives. Here is a very simple example of how there can be multiple perspectives. Now, what do you see on your screen? The letter M. Now, the same letter can be looked at from another perspective. Now, this becomes a kind of a E, this becomes a kind of a W, and this becomes a kind of 3. Any issue has multiple perspectives, and we did it last time when we showed them that cricket wala thingy. which means there is one way at which you are looking at the issue saying, बहुत helpless है, बहुत बड़ा है, बहुत difficult है. That is only one way to look at it. There are multiple ways to look at the same situation. Same situation, if 10 people are going through, all 10 of them are not thinking about it the same way. Ten guests are coming home, and every lady of the house will not think about that situation the same way. Tomorrow there is a surprise test. All the children will not think about it the same way. There is a teacher's training program. All the teachers will not think about it the same way. There is something called keep moving movement through which we will be able to impact the lives of children. All the schools will not think about it the same way. You become an extraordinary choice maker when you understand there are multiple ways to look at the same thing. I will be a pathetic choice maker, a useless choice maker, if I believe my way is the only way. If my thinking is my way the only way, chances are I am only thinking through emotions and maybe a lot of fear. There are multiple ways to look at the same thing, and that is when we do research. मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा है, चल मैं आलोक को पूछता हूं, आलोक तेरे को क्या लग रहा है? अच्छा मैं तनुजा को फोन करता हूं, तनुजा ए डार्लिंग बता ना तेरे को क्या लग रहा है? अच्छा चेतन इज अ यंग गाय, लेट मी आस्क चेतन मोजे, यार तेरे को क्या लग रहा है? अच्छा लेट मी आस्क अनिल, अनिल हैज सो मच एक्सपीरियंस, अनिल आपको क्या लग रहा है? An open mind with a willingness to understand there are multiple perspectives. So you want to be a great choice maker? Step number one, define it with clear outcomes. तुमको चाहिए क्या? Step number two, see multiple perspectives. And here are a few examples. There is this young child and father is on the phone. The way the father looks at the need to speak on the phone even when they are at home, and the way the child looks at the father's need to talk on the phone when he is at home may not be the same. The child can think Papa does not love me. And Papa can be thinking, because I love my child, let me earn all the money that I can to ensure she has a smooth life. The bad thing is jumping into judgments. I know Papa does not love me. Or the father thinking, the only way to love my child is to earn enough money. The moment they see each other's perspectives, a better solution will emerge. Otherwise, judgments will happen. Here is another example. Mother does not like the choice of friends the child has. The child thinks mother does not understand me at all. The mother believes this kind of children will harm my child. And the child is thinking, my mother does not trust me at all. When we understand multiple perspectives, and then we have a conversation around, there is a gentleness and clarity which comes to us. Otherwise, there is judgments and confusions. Let me share with you a very beautiful anecdote to take away the seriousness of the session and fill your heart with a wow factor. There is this old man who lives all alone, and he really values his afternoon sleep. Unfortunately, there are some urchins in the society, some naughty children who don't care for the elders, and they decide to play a game of cricket right outside this old man's door. Now, this old man gets very flustered, very disturbed. He requests the children, excuse me, is it okay if you don't play over here? I have to take my afternoon nap. The children just laugh at him and continue playing. The old man understands that the children have a need to play, but he also understands if he doesn't sleep, his health goes for a toss. The old man gets an idea. He's a very smart, innovative man like Mohan Agarwal is. Mohan Bhaiya is very smart and very innovative also, very creative. So he must have been somewhere Mohan Bhaiya's friend. ऐसा लग रहा है मेरे को. This old man gets an idea. Now, next day when the children come to play, the old man comes out, sits watching the children, and tells the children, तुम लोगों को खेलते हुए देख के मुझे इतना मजा आया. I really loved seeing all of you play. Here, take 50 rupees as bonus from me. I loved seeing all of you play. You are entertaining me so well. Take 50 rupees. Children happily took 50 rupees. He says, अरे ये बुढ़ाऊ तो बदल गया है. Next week, the old man says, take 100 rupees from me. You are entertaining so well. This is the best part of my day. Best part of my day. Keep coming, okay? And if you come, every time all of you play for me, I'll pay you 100 rupees. मतलब अगर मैं किसी को बुलाऊं मेरे लिए खेलने के लिए तो मेरा तो हजारों का नुकसान हो जाएगा. और तुम लोग तो 100 रुपए में मेरा एंटरटेनमेंट कर रहे हो. ये लो 100 रुपए. Next week, he gives them 500 rupees. Yaar, you are true entertainers. You should be paid really well. Wherever you go and play, that entire ilaka is blessed. You guys are professionals, entertainers. In the 4th week, he tells them, sorry, I'll be able to pay you only 50 rupees, but play the same way. और उतने ही मैचेस होने चाहिए, ठीक है? 2-3 घंटे के, एकदम मस्त. I want to be entertained beautifully well, but I'll pay only 50. And don't go anywhere else and play. Play in front of my house so that I can actually enjoy it well. The children say, पागल है क्या? 50 रुपए में खेलेंगे तुम्हारे लिए? कहीं और जाके खेलेंगे हम लोग. Why should we entertain you only for 50 rupees? Entertainment is not for free. We need at least 500 rupees. Otherwise, we'll go some other place. He says, Baba, please don't go anywhere. Play over here only. I'm really enjoying it, but I can pay only 50. The arrogant children that they were says, I care a damn about how much you are enjoying. Get lost. And I will play so far that आवाज भी नहीं आएगा. You will not get entertained at all. Now suffer. He says, I can't go more than 50. Children went away. saying फोकट में क्यों करे? Be very careful of smart old men. They have an entire lifetimes of experience with them. पंगा नहीं लेने का उनसे. The old man identified the issue. I want peace so that I can sleep well. How to solve it? Okay, let me look at it from the children's perspective. They are having so much fun. If I have to make them willingly go away from here, either they must be very kind or they must be very arrogant. Kindness तो नहीं है ये बच्चों में, क्योंकि अपील करके देख चुके हैं. Arrogant है ना. So them going somewhere else should look like a punishment for me. Then out of arrogance they will go away. And you could take them through that route where they thought they are punishing the old man by not playing over here. Now, this is the third step. And the third step is brainstorm possible strategies and identify solutions. Sometimes the solution is not on the surface. It is a little deeper. मिलो ना लोगों से, पूछो तो सही. Often, your mind may not have the solution, and the reason for that is you are too close to the issue. You know, it's as simple as, let's say this is a remote that I have. And this remote controls the light in the room where I am. I hold this remote too close to my eyes, I can see nothing in the world. And the moment I hold it far away from me, I can see everything around. Not that my eyes can't see, but sometimes I am too close to the issue to see things objectively. And that is when we go and talk to people and brainstorm. If somebody else had come to you with the same problem, you would have had the solution because you are detached. And that is where we open our heart and talk to people. That is why we need friends with whom we can be ourselves and say, "Arey boss, ye issue hai, kya karu?" Our ego will say, "Nahi, you should be able to solve it by yourself. क्या सोचेंगे लोग तेरे बारे में कि तू solve नहीं कर सकता?" But the right approach would be, I am too close to the issue, I may not be objective enough. Why this? I will keep two 5 rupee coin close to my eyes and I can't see anything. And the sun can be 100 times bigger than the earth, but is millions of miles away and everybody can see it. And that is why brainstorming is a brilliant idea. Why should somebody come and do a program like Let's Explore? Sometimes you are too close to your own life for you to be objective and see something bigger. Why should the schools give us a chance to do keep moving movement? Sometimes the school authorities themselves are too close to the situation for them to see things objectively. And that is why we need to be with smart people who can explore strategies and possible solutions. Karna to tumhi ko hai, but you need these conversations. So you tell the children, you have an issue, speak to people who are smart and explore possible strategies and solutions. 1947, India got independence. There were huge riots in Calcutta and in Delhi. Jawaharlal Nehru had no idea how to handle these riots. He went to Lord Mountbatten and asked him, the riots are there, how do I handle it? Mountbatten laughed at Jawaharlal Nehru and said, what, you guys are fighting for independence for so many years? Swaraj chahiye, self-rule chahiye. Now the Britishers are giving you self-rule. Go and handle it. Jawaharlal Nehru, realizing that this guy is actually smart and he can give me a solution, but वो भी थोड़ा sarcasm में है, लेकिन उसको handle करना पड़ेगा मेरे को. Communication mastery. He told him, you are right, Sir Mountbatten, that I should be able to handle it. The only trouble is my entire youth went in your jail. You put me behind bars, as a result of which I could never learn about administration. And because you put me behind bars, I think I am in my rights to ask you for guidance. Mountbatten smiled and said, that's a good one. And he said, I have a solution for you. Send all your forces to Delhi. And Nehru was aghast. What? Every bit of force to Delhi. Let my brothers and sisters in Calcutta die. Mountbatten said, see, either you do what I am saying or don't ask me. No? I have a plan for Calcutta also. We will not allow people to die in Calcutta. He said, okay, tell me what has to be done in Calcutta. He said, very simple. Send Mahatma Gandhi to Calcutta. Okay, and what should he do? Just tell him to go to Calcutta. Will it solve? It will. Nehru sent all the forces to Delhi. And he sent Mahatma Gandhi to Calcutta. The train of Mahatma Gandhi arrived in Howrah. Howrah is the station of Calcutta. News spread that Gandhi has arrived in city. All the factions which were fighting against each other came to the railway station to receive Mahatma Gandhi. And Mahatma Gandhi called all of them and said, let's have a prayer meeting. And there he sung this song, Vaishnava Jan to ten hi kahiye, Peed parai jane re. Says, we are brothers and sisters. If we don't understand each other's pain, then how will the future of India be great? And we did not ask for independence to kill each other, right? First decide to give up arms, and then we'll find a solution. Both sides started complaining and shouting, but they did this, they did this. First make an announcement that there will be no killings. I want each one of you to make that announcement to all your followers that all violence is stopped. And then we will talk till we find a solution. After Gandhi reached Calcutta, not a single person died in Calcutta because of riots. It still took a little time for Delhi to come under control. Power of choice, power of a human being, brainstorming strategies. When everything became okay, Nehru went back to Mountbatten and said, but why did you ask me to send Gandhi to Calcutta and not to Delhi? And why all the forces not to Calcutta? Why not the reverse? Mountbatten smiled and said, therefore, it is easier for us to control Calcutta. Calcutta is an unplanned city, Delhi is a planned city. And because it's an unplanned city, we cannot control that city through force. And hence, we needed a forceful personality. And who can be more forceful than Mahatma Gandhi? Jawaharlal Nehru, Prime Minister of the country, if he was egoistic and he had not gone to Mountbatten, God knows how many more lakhs of people would have died. Do you have the openness to go to somebody else and ask for solutions? In areas of life where you are a little tight, little angry, little frustrated, do you go and brainstorm with others? Or have you reached a conclusion? Kuch nahi ho sakta. Depend on your intelligence to find the right people to help you solve what your intelligence is not able to solve right now. That does not make you less intelligent or stupid or a fool. It makes you very smart. My health is not good. I go to a doctor. That does not make me stupid. I have a legal issue and I go to a lawyer. That does not make me stupid. Similarly, I might have issue in some aspect of life and I am not able to bring the results that I want. A, give up and say, kuch nahi ho sakta. B, keep brainstorming and finding solutions. किसी न किसी के पास से कोई ना कोई कॉन्वर्सेशन में ब्रेक थ्रू मिलेगा. If you want to live life by power of choices, you have to accept that sometimes you are too close to something and therefore not able to see objectively. Which is why every Sunday morning we have life lessons in life school, where you have completed the program, you are a life schooler now, but every Sunday we'll discuss one aspect of life which you wouldn't have thought about. And you get a little more clarity. Or yaar, ye aise to socha nahi humne. And that's how you create breakthroughs in life. How many of you in your childhood have played cricket on the terrace? Any one of you terrace mein football, cricket? There are so many of you. And how many of you in your childhood have played cricket with that cycle ka tube ko kaat ke, kagaj ke tukde ke upar wo tube laga ke, ball bana ke? Some of you have done that. How many of you in your school have played table tennis on your desk with the books as the net? How many of you have played hand cricket? All this is what? You wanted to entertain yourself. नहीं समझ में आया क्या करने का है, क्या options है यार? And somebody came with an idea. ये साइकिल के टायर का ट्यूब का बना देना. अरे इधर टीटी खेलते ना इधर. Together when you come, you will always find so many options and so many beautiful strategies. Book cricket, yes, you're so right. How many of you have played book cricket? सिर्फ book खोल के. The way things are going, very soon Virat Kohli will have to start playing book cricket. You know that classic story. Some of you, I'm sure, would have known. When astronauts went to space, they found that these regular pens are not working in the gravity-like situation over there. And when they had to note down things, and those were not the times when computers had been built. When they had to note down details, they found they are not able to. NASA, which has the smartest of brains, created a pen. And I have that pen with me at office. Bharat and Trupti had gone to NASA and they bought that pen for me, which can write in anti-gravity situation, which can write even under water, which can write upside down. You know, when we use these pens and it is upside down, the ink flows because of gravity. So therefore, it's difficult to write. So NASA invested close to $1 billion in finding the right pen which solves this issue. The Russians started using pencil. Can you imagine the person who had started this project of inventing the pen which can write in zero gravity, upside down, etc., etc., and he would have been very proud of his invention, which costed America $1 billion, when he came to know that the Russians are using pencil? What he would have gone through, poor fellow. अरे यार, ये सब करने की जरूरत नहीं है, पेंसिल से यूज करना. I'm sure Russians brainstormed and Americans did not define the problem properly. The Russians would have defined the problem as, we need something with which we can write the notes. The American would have defined it as, we need a pen which can write in zero gravity. See how defining the problem properly helps. Actually, में क्या solve करना है? Pen को solve करना है कि writing को solve करना है? But as I'm saying this, I'm thinking, when we take the first point, you should discuss this incident there. Don't discuss it over here. When we speak about define the problem, that is where you use this example of the Russian space scientists using pencil instead of pen. Now, when you have found the solution, the next step is test the solution. And when you test the solution, always use failure as a learning tool. Use failure as a learning tool. Failure does not mean you won't succeed. Failure means a little fine-tuning is required. So it's a very important set of words that is there within the brackets over there, and that is welcoming failure as a learning tool. You will not be able to experiment if you do not welcome failure as a learning tool. Whatever you think is the solution, test it and see if it works. My dear friend Ganesh Natarajan always says, Naren, fail fast and fail enough number of times so that you succeed fast. Fail fast. Don't take 5 years for a failure. Fatak se experiment kar, samajh ja, this is going to work or this is not going to work. Welcome failure as a learning tool. And the example that you see over there is very beautiful. It is Alexander Graham Bell. Do you know when Alexander Graham Bell created the phone for the first time, voice could be transmitted only one way? Which means What he's saying, the other person can hear. What the other person is saying, he's not able to hear. That was the first telephone. And at that stage of time, he could have said, it is impossible for us to have an instrument where we can listen to each other. It will always be one way. मैंने करके देखा है. Or he says, as of now, I've realized one way by which voice can go one way. Let's keep ideating, let's keep experimenting till we find ways by which it will come and go. Failure was not seen as something which defines कि ये impossible है. Failure is used as a learning tool. The next example will shock you. Somehow I am seeing Mr. Ford seems to be making his presence in every session. He had Ford underwear, and today also we have a Ford. Do you know the first car that Henry Ford made did not have a reverse gear? It can only go one way. Reverse नहीं possible. Reverse gear came much later. Imagine telling गाड़ी reverse में जाने का chance ही नहीं है. What we have to do is fit engine on both the sides of the car. One to go forward, one to go this way. And I'm sure all these brainstormings would have happened. And they would have made some experiments. And then with enough experiments not working out the way we thought it should work out, some genius somewhere we were involved, some small development, another small development. Lo and behold, the car also has a reverse gear. All developments happens through iterations. All improvements happens a bit at a time. And I'm sure all of you have the memory of that black telephone which used to be there in one corner of the living room. And if the phone rings, 4 or 5 people might run towards it. How many of you remember that black phone in which you had to put your finger inside and move the dial? Quite many of us, isn't it? Yeah, I know. At that point of time, who would have thought about smart mobile phones? Who would have thought? But look at the series of improvements. Then when push button came, it was like, what a breakthrough, yaar. कभी-कभी वो उंगली अंदर घुसा के ना वो डायल वापस नहीं आता था. फिर उसी उंगली से उसको वापस खींच के लेके आना पड़ता था. You remember those days? मतलब क्या मजा आता था. And sometimes एक उंगली थक जाती थी, फिर दूसरा उंगली. या ये घुमा के ना तकलीफ हो रहा है इसमें. And today, कितने improvements हुए और आज जहां पहुंचे हैं. And for all that you know, 5 years down the line, you might get one small button. You put that button on, put one machine, press it, and the whole AR, VR stuff can be there right in front of you. You want breakthroughs in life, right? Breakthrough is not one big thing. It's enough small things. The world sees a breakthrough because they don't know the process. But for you, it will be a series of steps. So, what you do is test these solutions, welcoming failure as a learning tool. And when you apply the failures as a learning tool, you evolve better solutions. That's how it goes. That is how it always goes. In the class, then do a brainstorming activity with children. Tell the children, I believe I have smart people in front of me. And let us take one small issue and let's talk about it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We will give an activity to the children to be done inside the class. Now, what is the activity we do? We ask them, why do some people have more friends than others? Let's brainstorm. Let's brainstorm. Now, you'll do the brainstorming in two parts. First, give the statement, why do some people have more friends than others? Let the children talk. This is the reason, this is the reason, this is the reason, this is the reason. You go prepared with 2-3 reasons of your own so that you can initiate, you can be a catalyst to the conversation. And then after some time say, okay, let me redefine the issue and make it a better issue to solve. Why do some people have more friends than others? Let's make it relevant to our life. To have better friends, what should we do? Now make it relevant to them. Earlier it was a gossip kind of a discussion. Now it is about directly relevant to our life. To have better friends, what should we do? Now somebody might say, I should be candid. Somebody should say, I should be a performer. Somebody should say, I should be honest. Somebody should say, I should be helpful. And for everybody say, it's a great answer. Do not tell anybody that their answer theek nahi hai, because in brainstorming, not necessarily every answer would be perfect. But our job is to do a brainstorming over there. And you can always connect it back to being a champ friend. So you're connecting communication, you are connecting a champ friend as you're taking this session. So far, all of you with me? Now we move to the last point of the session. Since we began with how smart Russians are, let's also discuss about another beautiful thing that happened in Russia. The form of dance of Russia, which is famous all over the world, is called Russia's dance export to the world is ballet. Beautiful. Bell dancing. In a village in Russia, there was this young lady who had the dreams of being a ballet dancer. There's a piece called the Swan Lake, which is a very heart-rending piece. And she had a dream of performing Swan Lake in St. Petersburg in Russia. Obviously, she's from a very small village, doesn't have opportunities of exploring, doesn't have opportunities of exposure. So she never got a breakthrough. One day, she came to know that the best ballet troupe in the entirety of Russia is coming to perform in her village. She could not believe her eyes. What? They are coming to my village? I'll be able to see the best Russian ballet troupe. She got so excited, she bought the costliest of ticket for herself, persuaded her parents for the money, and said, I have to see it very closely. About 25 villages close by, people were coming from all over to see the ballet dance. In the build-up for 4 weeks, she would practice ballet every day because she wanted to move into that mood. She went to the ballet dance performance. She was mesmerized. The program that got over, they got a thundering ovation. And she had an idea. Through using her guile, she made her way towards the green room at the back of the stage. She dodged the security guards. She knocked on the door of the green room of the director. Director is an old man, about 82 years old. She looked at him and said, "Sir, I can't believe whether it is real or a dream, but it was the most beautiful evening of my life. And I also have aspirations to be a ballet dancer." And from somewhere she got the courage and she said, "Can I perform for you, and will you be able to tell me what I should do to become a great ballet dancer?" This old man said, "Okay, I'm going to my room." It was about 7 in the evening. He said, "Come at 9 o'clock and come in your ballet dress and ballet shoes and bring your music with you." Gave the hotel address. This girl, oh my God, went home, pressed the clothes, brought out the shoes, did a little more warm up, told everybody, "I'm going to dance for him. I'm going to dance for him." Olden days, we used to have this 2-in-1 machine. Took the 2-in-1 machine, put the music inside there, went to his room, knocked with excitement. He opened the room and he didn't recognize her. He said, "Yes, what can I do for you?" He said, "No, I had come to that program. You asked me to come at 9. It's exactly 9. He said, Yeah. Come in. She came in, she took a pose, put the music, started dancing. In less than 2 minutes' time, the master just waved her off and said, "You don't have it in you to be a great ballet dancer. Please go home." This girl is heartbroken. She had only one dream in life, to be a ballerina. And now she can't be. She went home, packed the dress, packed the shoes, put it in the loft, never danced again. In a few years, got married, moved to another village, a little bigger village, had 2 children. And after about 12 years, in the new village, she read the poster, the same ballet is now coming to this village. The heart of the ballerina is still there. She again wanted to see the performance, persuaded her husband. They went. Again, she was mesmerized. But she had one lingering doubt inside her head, which she wanted to clarify. Again, dodged the security, reached the green room, knocked the door. Now this guy is 90 plus. And he again said, "Yes." He said, "Do you remember me? I had come to see you and I had performed for you. And of course, you were very kind to give me a chance. And you told, I'm not meant to be a ballerina. I heard your advice. I got married and these are my children. I bought my diary with you. You can see these pictures." The old man indulged her for a couple of minutes. And then she said, "If you don't mind, I have one question to ask you." "Yes." "What was missing in me that day because of which you said I can't be a ballerina?" That old man said, "Arey, I did not even look at you. I get thousands of people who say, I want to be a ballerina. I tell everybody the same thing. You don't have it in you to be a ballerina." And this girl was completely heartbroken. And she said, "You destroyed my career. I could have become a ballerina. You did not even look at me. How cruel is this?" The master smiled and said, don't put it on me. If you ever want to do anything in life, you will come across many people who will say you can't do it. You will choose to listen to them and give up on your dreams. Or you will choose to work so hard that you will live the life of your dreams. Just because the world says you can't, it is not the world's fault or the world's responsibility to make you believe in you. It's a choice that you make to believe in yourself or not. Nobody told Mother Teresa she can do what she did. Nobody told Mahatma Gandhi he can do what he did. Nobody went to Virat Kohli and said you can do what you can do, what he did. And nobody went to Joe Root and say you can play such an extraordinary year. Each performer in the world has made a choice and backed it with super hard work. It's easy to say, I didn't get support. It's easy to say, you did not believe in me. It is easy to say, you somehow took my motivation away. You demotivated me. All that is humbug. The truth is, you make a choice to believe in the naysayers, or you make a choice to believe in your dream. Nobody told me I can succeed in training. Everybody told me it's a stupid decision. कहां सब धंधा सेट छोड़ छाड़ के. Nobody said KMM will succeed. Enough people said कहां ये सब चलने वाला है. Don't make the world responsible for your choices. It is you who is responsible for your choices. Nobody else is. If you fail and say others demotivated you, you chose to believe in what others said about you. At the same time, there will be somebody out there who might also say, "Tu kar sakta hai." कोई नहीं है, तू खुद अपने आप को याद दिला, तू कर सकता है. There is a homework for each volunteer. Now and then in life, we have some inspirational people. Somebody who really inspires us. In many ways, Rati Forbes of Forbes Marshall inspires me. Whenever I listen about anybody having done something good, I do my best to reach out to that person and speak with them because their deeds, their choices inspires me. I learn a lot by meeting inspirational people. It's a choice I make to expand my world. It's a choice I make to understand how much more can be done. So here is a very, very simple homework for you. You know, when APJ was alive, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, we wanted to meet him. And Betu said, Poppy, if I can meet APJ Abdul Kalam, it will be the best day of my life. Now, when a child says, if I can meet somebody and it will be the best day of my life, it becomes our responsibility to make it happen. It took us 3.5 years to get a 3-minute appointment with him. And then we met him for about 40 minutes. And it was an inspiring meeting. Then we came to know about Arunima Sinha. Said, क्या लड़की है यार, क्या कमाल किया है इसने यार. Again, it took us about 2.5 years. But we could get her to Pune to address our group, our team of 3,000 people. Similarly, Praveen Teotia. The way I saw a video of his where Sachin Tendulkar gets up and salutes him, I said, yaar, ye aadmi ko milne ka apne ko. It took us a little time. Praveen was relatively short. Within 2 weeks, we got a breakthrough and we met him. And we interviewed him. And today he's a very, very dear friend. Here is a homework for each one of you. Meet any inspiring person before you go inside the classroom to take your session. Somebody who inspires you. Somebody meeting whom might be a privilege. If they stay in Trivandrum, so be it. Fly, meet him and come. If they're in Bombay, fair enough. Go for a drive, meet them and come. If that is not possible, Zoom. But get into a conversation. That's the homework. Very simple. Get into a conversation to meet an inspiring person. Whoever inspires you, however high they are, it's okay. You have about 10 days to make it happen. Now, right now, you might be making a choice of thinking, board difficult hai yaar ye to. That's a choice you make. Why don't you define the problem a little better? To meet this inspiring person, what is it that we can do? It will be beautiful. Rahul Deshpande writes Amitabh Bachchan. Brilliant. Go ahead. Go ahead and find a way to connect and have a conversation with him. What is the issue? Give it everything you have. Go and meet an inspiring person and have a conversation. That's the homework. And what we are discussing today as the framework, see if you can implement that. Should we know them personally? Darling, Jasmine, I didn't know APJ Abdul Kalam personally. Neither did I know Arunima Sinha personally, nor did I know Praveen Teotia personally. But we found connections. We found a route. Chalo lag jao. That's the homework. And with what we have discussed today, may any difficulty that comes on your path be solved beautifully with you maintaining that happiness is my choice. Today we have shared an extraordinarily powerful tool with some very sweet steps. Do that and you will conquer all the hills and all the obstacles of your life. May this be the most powerful session that you have ever taken. Because if the children believe that they have the power of making choices, you have given them a tool which will help them in the most critical situations of their life. All the best. Thank you so much for coming and love you all.